We went to the White House.
Let's talk about that. Good Mythical Morning.
Last week, something very exciting happened. We got invited to the White House, along with some other YouTubers, for the launch of the It's On Us campaign, which is a campaign to stop sexual assault on college campuses. More on that campaign later, but we want to tell you about the process of being at the White House.
Yeah, I mean, we were pretty excited right off the bat because, I mean, we knew that this was a chance to meet the president. Meeting President Obama was on the table.
Yeah.
That could happen.
Well, first we had to confirm that we weren't just being invited to a White House.
Right, there was a V.
I was concerned about that because, I mean, we are YouTubers and we can be taken advantage of in situations like this.
But even if we didn't meet the president, just being invited to his home, to his residence was pretty amazing. I mean, there's people in the news recently, matter of fact, later that day, people trying to get into the White House in all types of ways. A dude jumped the fence.
A fence jumper forced the evacuation of the West Wing. Take a look.
Everybody out right now, go back, everybody into the park. Right now, into the park.
People want to get in there, but it helps to have an invitation and to be allowed in there.
Right.
So we did that. The first thing we did was, along with all the other YouTubers, was go bowling. There is a 2-lane bowling alley in the bottom of the White House. So we go down there. I think it's under the West Wing. It's the Truman Bowling Alley. We did not bowl with the president, but we did bowl with the president's picture.
Yes, it's very convincing what we did there. That's called camera trickery.
Olivia Munn was there.
Olivia Munn was there. She's a traditional celebrity you might be familiar with.
She lives in the bowling alley.
She doesn't. She got introduced to us as, these are the YouTubers, and she made the mistake of asking the question, what do you do on YouTube? So I was like, well, she doesn't know who we are, so let's just make this up. We were about to bowl, so I said, we have a bowling YouTube channel, an instructional bowling channel.
Right.
So she was like, oh, she really believed us, and then No, she didn't want to question.
She didn't question us.
She didn't want to question us at that time. But then we got it there, and I was like, most of our videos are double strike videos. Conveniently, there are 2 lanes here, and we bowled, and I was hoping we would both get a strike.
Action.
We both knocked over.
I think you got we knocked over
pins.
some pins.
I got 4 pins. And then I turned and said, we don't have a bowling instructional video.
So basically that was just us hanging out before we went to the event in the East Room, and before the whole thing started, well, there was a panel, and then there was a break, and while we were taking that break, they were like refreshments. We were right in the middle of the White House. You look at that front door where the guy ran in with the pocket knife, where the atmosphere was collapsing.
That's where we was.
That's where we were earlier, and I mean, there was fruit. There was coffee.
We drank out of little teacups, and I held my pinky up like this.
The White House videographer comes up to us and says, hey, can you do a shout out? So he takes us out in front, like on the porch.
White House shout out.
White House shout out. Mm-hmm. So we go out there and we're making this video. Well, little did we know at the time, but at the same time, some people from our group, namely Ben, saw Kevin Rose, what's his name?
Kevin Love.
Kevin Love.
Kevin Hart and Kevin Love are about the most opposite you can possibly be.
The tallest white guy I've ever met, and like a short black guy who's really funny.
Right. Kevin Love is a basketball player.
7th best NBA basketball player according to...
Oh, you've been doing your reading.
According to
You've
Sports
been reading
Illustrated.
again, Link.
So he goes through this door. This is Ben telling us later, and then Ben's like, I feel like I should go in there too. Ben works for YouTube. So he goes in there.
Good call, Ben.
They meet the vice president and the president. They're just like hanging out.
For like 20 minutes.
Shaking his hand, talking to him.
Getting pictures with him.
Just inviting him over for barbecue.
Meanwhile, we're out on the front lawn doing
giving a shout out.
having to dodge people with pocket knives jumping over the fence.
What?
That didn't really happen at the same time.
So we come back in, we're like, most everybody's here except for Ben and a few other people. It's like, wonder where he is. We still didn't know he was meeting the president. We go back and sit down. Now we had really great seats for this thing, reserved. Yep. We were second row.
Second row.
And when you go in there, you see there's the official presidential podium. Yeah. It's like, yes, the president is gonna come out. Mm-hmm. He is gonna be here. And we are going to be really close to him.
5-6 feet away.
So Biden comes out, he gives a great talk, and then he introduces the president. Everybody stands and starts cheering.
And you can see if you watch the video, it is on YouTube, of the live stream, as he introduces Obama, the back of my head gets in the way of Biden's face.
You photobombed.
So you've got the back
Biden.
of my head, which I recognize. It's good. And then Obama's face. I'm gonna take that still, I'm gonna put it in my office.
I mean, it was a defining moment in my life in that it was very surreal. You just don't know, am I gonna feel anything when the president comes out? I mean, it's not like seeing a celebrity. There's only one president. There's only been like a handful of them. I lost count.
4 or 5 at least.
But I mean, honestly, I'll say it was very cool to be that close. Like, I was gonna say I couldn't have reached out and touched him, and I would never say that I could. I was gonna say I could, if I was speaking and I went. Like spit might would have come out and hit the president.
You were thinking this kind of
But
thing?
I wasn't, I'm not gonna say I could have spit on the president because I wasn't thinking that. I wasn't thinking about spitting on the president.
What is going on with you?
All I'm trying to say is how close I was to the president. If I popped a pee,
you were spittle distance.
Some of my DNA might would have hit the president.
Well, here's what I was thinking. As he was speaking, I made eye contact with the Secret Service agent who was off to the side of the stage, and he was looking right at me, and I was like, oh crap. And then I looked back, and then I looked again, he was still looking at me. I was like, does he think that I'm gonna do something? And so I started thinking about my posture because-
Your posture?
Todd, from other YouTuber from Barely Political, earlier had said I looked like a Croatian double agent in my suit. So then I was like, okay. And then I looked again, he's still looking at me. I was like, I'm not looking at him again.
He was looking at you because you kept looking at him.
I know, we got into the whole are you looking at me thing with a Secret Service agent.
Don't do that with a Secret Service agent.
I'll never do it again. But then Obama finishes the speech, and he begins going down the front row, shaking everyone's hand. He gets right in front of us, and I'm thinking.
And now he's close enough that I could have kissed him on the cheek.
Easily, I could reach over. I'm big. I could reach over the first row and hold my hand out, and he'll probably grab it. But then I'm thinking, well, first of all, if I do that, that Secret Service agent is going to tackle me because he's already got a thing going with me.
And you're still
right.
You have a thing.
Yeah, he's suspicious of me. But then I'm like, Link, if I'm thinking this, Link is definitely thinking this. So maybe Link will reach out and hold his hand out into the front row. But it didn't happen.
I was definitely thinking I could go for the hand through. My hand is in the front row. Mm-hmm. But I didn't do that either.
You were scared of getting tackled?
This is what it really boils down to. Yeah, you want to meet the president. Yeah, I wanted to meet the president. I wanted to shake his hand, but what did I really want? What was I most concerned about, being totally honest with you, is what am I gonna come back and say to family and friends for the rest of my life? What am I gonna be able to say that's true about that experience? Like my bragging rights. I mean, I wanted to know what I was gonna tell you, but my grandkids, it's like, yeah, I met the president, I shook his hand. Well, I can't say that.
I thought about sticking my hand out to the front row where the president was, but I was scared of the Secret Service grandkids.
And I got tackled.
I was close enough to accidentally spit on him while talking though.
Can't say that. Now, can we say I was, to my grandkids, I was invited to the White House. It's like, did you stay in the Lincoln bedroom? Well, no, I didn't spend the night. It wasn't a slumber party.
You can't do that. Nobody can do that.
So what do I say to my grandkids, my great-grandkids? I was a guest of the White House at an event, and I thought about my spittle hitting the president.
I was invited to the White House, and I went to it. And it was not just a White House, it was the White House where the president lives.
But I didn't sleep over.
Kids.
But I did bowl.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
But he wasn't there when I bowled.
But I bowled with a picture of him.
I think that's
There's lots we could. We'll just show them this episode of Good Mythical Morning, so we're going to show the grandkids. Okay.
And great-grandkids. Now, I love all you guys.
But
I'm so proud of you.
More importantly,
maybe one day you'll get to shake the president's hand.
Okay, that's enough of the grandkids. More importantly, the reason that we were there, and this is what we want to talk about briefly here at the end, was the It's On Us campaign.
Right.
And when we were initially invited to be a part of a campaign that's about stopping sexual assault on college campuses, we were like, well, what are we going to do about that?
Right, so, I don't have a personal connection to that, and I'm not well informed about the issues.
But that's kind of the point. The point is that it's everybody's responsibility to help to stop this, to be a part of a cultural shift where.
Yeah, first to intervene in situations where you see that someone may be in danger or is not able to make a decision for themselves. But it's also, like you said, to make a cultural shift to put it on the top of our minds that there's something that we can all do. It's on all of us.
It's everybody's responsibility
to make a difference on college campuses and in your normal walk of life. Maybe you're not on college campus.
And here's what you can do. This is what we're asking you to do. This is what we've done. You can go to itsonus.org and take the pledge saying that you're going to be a part of stopping sexual assault. And it kind of ties in with your Facebook or your Twitter, or maybe you can just take the pledge there on the site. There's a couple of different ways to do it. But we'd encourage all you mythical beasts who are concerned about this issue also to take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Thanks for liking and commenting on this episode.
You know what time it is.
I'm Jordan.
I'm Ben.
And we're from Florida.
And
it's time to spin the wheel of mythicality.
Remember to take the pledge at itsonus.org. You can take the pledge right there on the website, or you can do it through Facebook or Twitter.
Yeah, click through to Good Mythical More where we share more of the behind the scenes of our White House tour and when we met the president and shook his hand.
Okay, in your dreams.
Well, the White House tour.
Link thinks that he is the real Rhett.
Well, it appears that I'm in the wrong seat, Shorty. And I don't know why I'm wearing your glasses, dude. Linkster. As we know,
I'm not real sure what's going on. What do you?
I am the real me, a.k.a. Rhett.
Well, I would never button my top collar button like that.
That's true, I wouldn't. And,
oh, you are the real Rhett.
Oh, really?
Nice to meet you. Me?
Can't see a thing. So we take the top tour into the rooms with corresponding colors to their names. Like the blue room was not green. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
It was blue.